if this goes really bad, I want you to just sell the house and go to Egypt, you know? And you need to just tell Amira that I was a good... You just tell Amira I was a good dad.
Wait a minute. We've been doing other things with the community. Like you can see probably in the video, we've actually taken over 400 jackets to the homeless in Orlando for the winter. We've had really cold temperatures in Orlando. We've provided over 400 jackets. In fact, we're going to make another run soon. A lot of those jackets are either from our uniform stash or supply, or some of the jackets I actually bought from other police departments, stripped them of their IDs and things of that nature through auctions, and we're going to give to the homeless for the winter. But other than that, we've, between doing that and some giving food and serving food to the homeless at some shelters.
Anyways.
Corporal. But that wasn't me. All my guys have pepper balls.
Good afternoon. We are on the record. The date is 9/28/2023, and the time is approximately 2:12 p.m. APD Jessica Nadal in case 23CF236 and 22CF3688 for defendant Jeremy Charles Dewitte. Present on behalf of the state.
Justin Collins, on behalf of the state of Florida.
James Woods with Department of Corrections, Probation and Parole.
Okay. Officer Woods, have you previously been sworn to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And can you repeat where you work, please?
I work for Florida Department of Corrections, Probation and Parole in Kissimmee, Florida.
How long have you been working there?
8 years.
In what capacity?
As a probation officer.
The whole time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you supervised, what kinds of cases do you supervise?
I supervise parole cases, conditional release cases, and sex offenders. And they call pled down cases. So sex offense, then I got pled down to a battery or something like that.
Okay.
I will supervise those cases also.
Is that usually because they have sex offender conditions tied to their supervision?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you receive any specialized training?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you describe that, please?
I went to the academy in Pat Thomas. That's a 4-month training. They teach about supervision, firearms training, defensive tactics, and then of course we do annual training every year. And then since I do have a specialized case that I do training also dealing with sex offenders, registration requirements, and time frames.
Since you have a specialized caseload, how long were you a probation officer before you were, I suppose, promoted to handle these types of cases?
So I got promoted 2022 in March of 2022. So I guess I'm going over a year, about a year doing it. But in total, department 8 years.
Okay. When you received notice of today's deposition, did you have an independent recollection of the events?
Well, I know the case. Jeremy Dwight, I had him for, just by hearing his name, had him for 2 months on my caseload. Caused a lot of problems. Also talked about me on YouTube. His girlfriend talked about me on YouTube. Slandered my name, saying I was unfair. So I'm definitely familiar with the case just because he's very vocal. He also has a very following to where I get calls and emails from his followers or people that don't like him. So it's just a lot going on just for one person.
Okay. So his case was more challenging than others?
Yes, ma'am. Probably one of the toughest. It made you learn how to be a probation officer, I can tell you that.
Okay.
It's a lot tougher. you have to, when you go to his house, he's always recording you, always give you like try to bait you to say something, but you just know, for me, you just be quiet. I'm like, oh, okay. And I always have to bring that officer with me because then he'll file false stuff. And then thank God I had somebody with me, so it was witnessed while I was there. So I always have to, when you're out there, you have to make sure you P's and Q's. I don't know. He's just an interesting person. I just think he just can't help himself. I mean, all he had to do was just follow his orders when it was on my caseload. I know, but I mean, that's still bad. Sorry.
So you said you were his probation officer for 2 months, correct?
2 months, yes, ma'am.
Which 2 months were those?
I can't recall the dates. I know they were a year of 2022. So whenever he got released from prison, I think he got released in September. So November is when he would have went to jail. For the VOP.
Right. So you think you were his probation officer September, October, or?
So it would have been October. It would have been September when he got it released. So October and November is when he went to jail on the VOP.
Okay. But you wrote and signed the violation probation affidavit, correct?
I did.
Okay. And what was the basis for that violation?
That particular violation was he failed to get rid of his YouTube channel, his Metro State YouTube channel within the 60-day time frame. He failed to present himself when I told him to come outside using his RTC. He got new law violation from the Osceola Sheriff's Office for failing to register his YouTube channel within 48 hours. He got another new law violation for failure to register his multiple vehicles with Osceola County, and also failing to inform the Sheriff's Office when he sold a vehicle. And that's all I've recall from the top of my head on the violation.
You mentioned he failed to get rid of a YouTube channel. Do you recall the name of that YouTube channel?
Metro State.
Was it just Metro State, or did it have other?
And some other ones I just know it's Metro State. But if you type in Metro State Jeremy Dewitte on YouTube, it's the first thing that pops up.
Okay.
He has another one too called Motor One is Moving. That's the one he got the violation on for that one.
Did he ever tell you about Motor One is Moving?
No, he did not.
Okay, so you guys never had a conversation about Motor One is Moving or Motor One is Moving email address?
No.
How many times in the time that you were supervising Mr. Dewitte did you see him?
I would see him 3 times a month. It's 6, and probably more than that because I had to come up him. Probably more because he always had to get travel permits because he always wanted to go to Orlando. But sex offenders can't go into different counties without a permit to inform law enforcement, hey, I could be in this county. So he always had to come to the office. So almost every week I would see him. So probably more than 6 times every single week.
When did your issues with Mr. Dewitte start?
When he got released from jail, when he came into the office, attempted to record me.
Wait, sorry, were you his probation officer before that also?
No, I was not.
Okay.
That's just when he got out in September.
Okay. And do you know what the basis for this issue was?
The issue with him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily an issue. It's about not following, like when I tell him to do something, which is very simple, get rid of the website, get rid of the channel. When I first did this before he got released, he still had the Metro State vehicle, still equipped it even with inmate transport seat, cage, whole nine full T. Informed us saying, hey, y'all need to try to do this, get rid of it, but still didn't get it done. So it took a while. So they had to actually remove the vehicle from the property. And then, so when he does get out and goes back home, he has a black Charger with the steel rim. So it kind of looks like a police vehicle, but doesn't have all the police equipment inside and stuff. So I'm sure I helped him. Hey, you need to do this. But the issue is, like if you didn't like what I said, bring it, go all the way up to IG. So just versus just talking to me as supervisor, then complaint, and then I'll get yelled and screamed at by his girlfriend.
Who's his girlfriend?
Was it Jennifer Burton?
Is she the same person that owns the Durango?
No, that's his wife.
Do you know her name?
Raina Dewitte. That's his wife.
How much interaction did you have with Jennifer Burton?
Jennifer Burton, at first, she just pretty much kind of deceived the department, pretty much thinking that she was the wife. So it was very, so I did not know nothing about Jeremy Dwit during this time or Ms. Burton, so I actually learned from this incident. So as I'm trying to do placement, which when they get released, we have to drive around the area, make sure it's suitable, make sure it's in compliance before they come in. So at that point, it was not in compliance because the vehicle in the driveway looked like a police vehicle. So
Sorry, to clarify, what was he on probation for?
Failure to register and police impersonation.
Okay. Got it. Continue, please.
Failure to register as a sex offender.
Yes.
Okay. So when they do come up, we have to, of course, drive the area, make sure it's in compliance with the court order. So at that time, it was not because of the vehicle. So the classification officer, would be actually making contact with Jennifer Burton. So when I was trying to get information to get in touch with the wife, I was given Jennifer Burton's information thinking it was the wife. So I would talk to her. And then it wasn't until later on, I asked, hey, so, found out she was the girlfriend. And I'm like, so I made attempts to go to the house. And finally, through Jennifer Burton, I got in contact with Raina.
Okay.
All right. So then me and my supervisor, Barker, we met with Raina. At first, she, I guess, I don't know what happened with there, but the issue with, is he going to live there? She wasn't sure because I believe Jennifer Burton was still in the picture at the time.
Okay.
So I guess essentially resolved it, and he ended up moving back in with her.
Okay.
It's a very long situation, which is back and forth.
Okay. Because your caseload is specialized, I'm assuming that there are different probation rules for sex offenders?
Oh, of course. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Everybody has different rules.
Okay.
Depending on if they're JLA, they go by a whole different set of rules.
Mm-hmm.
If they come back on probation for failure to register, another set of different rules.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Can you elaborate on the specific rules that Jeremy Dewitte had to comply with?
Jeremy Dewitte on his, just make sure he registered with the sheriff's office. I don't have the order in front of me. I'm sorry. I had quite a bit. It was quite extensive, so I would actually have the order in front of me.
Separate from the probation order is really my question. So obviously there's the probation order, and then there are rules that the department imposes.
Condition. Oh, yes.
So what conditions, are there specialized conditions that sex offenders, specifically Jeremy Dewitte, has to follow
All right, so
outside of the probation order?
The general conditions, you got to pay court costs and fees, report when directed, follow instructions the probation officer will give you. If we have to get approval for changing the job, leaving the county, getting permission, leaving the county, work at a lawful occupation, don't use drugs, There's more, pay court costs and fees. Be truthful to your probation officer. Yeah, GPS rules, like, when we call the device, you have to answer. When we send the message, you must follow those instructions. Don't leave the device behind. Always have it on you. Charge it 4 hours daily. Don't tamper with the device. If you tamper with the device, you can be charged with a third-degree felony. With the federal register, in that case, it's pretty much you maintain registration. We'll go over the whole registration packet with them. Front 3 pages with them. Read it. We'll check each one, sign, date it, and then we'll give them information to make contact with the sheriff's office to make the appointment to register. And then we'll get reminders either every 3 months or every 6 months, or when they do need to register, we'll inform them and remind them. But usually they get a reminder from the sheriff's office too.
Is there anything that your probationers have to report or register with the sheriff's office that they also have to report to you?
Yeah, so during that time they're on probation. So when you create a new email, because he's allowed to have those things, but when you create them, you have to inform your probation officer, and then you'll inform the sheriff's office. We both have to be informed. If you fail to do one of those, you're going to be charged with third-degree felony.
Okay. And was he made aware of that?
Yes.
And so you said when they're created, what if he inherited an email? What would be the process for that?
So if he has old emails, he also needs to, that's when he has to actually inform the sheriff's office. And then inform me, hey, about these emails, and I'll check with the sheriff's office about the emails also. We'll just have to inform the sheriff's office of those old emails.
Okay. But what if it's a new email? Let's say, for example, Mr. Collins created an email and it said, justthebest@gmail.
Well, he'll say, hey, call me the day he created it, and like, hey, Mr. Woods, I created email. It's just my email.
Right, but Mr. Collins, let's say I'm your probationer.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Collins is my friend, and he created an email that says justthebest at Gmail. And then he goes, hey, Jessica, you can have this email.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to register if he gave it to you. Yes.
Right. So would there be most likely a discrepancy in dates? And would that be an issue with the reporting?
We're reporting it?
Yes.
I mean, you just have to report it to the sheriff's office.
So the date of creation, is that considered when the report is made?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. That's when I report it when I see it, and I submitted it to the sheriff's office. They got a warrant out, and then that's how they got that he failed to register. But I was not aware of it until I got a tip from somebody else.
Okay.
That he had that going on. So then that's when I informed the sheriff's office.
And do you recall when that was?
No, not at all. It was maybe sometime in November, but no.
Okay. Can you provide more information how you became aware of the email address?
A phone call from one of his, fans, I guess.
So it was an anonymous phone call?
Yes, ma'am. And then I emailed it to, I got multiple, to tell you the truth. I got an email from UK informing me of everything too. The guy from UK, and phone calls. So I got phone calls, emails also. I think I got maybe 2 emails.
And this is to let you know about the YouTube channel?
YouTube channel, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, would you call these people fans or?
They were not fans of him at all, no.
Okay. Did you document this in your file?
Document what, the email?
The phone calls and the emails?
The emails, like the tips and stuff?
Yes.
I probably just have it on my, I don't think so.
Sorry,
Huh?
I was just breathing. Sorry.
Oh, I don't know. I have to look at my notes if I did or not.
Okay.
I know the email I sent to Ellie, I got that still. About the website. Or did I call him? I'm not sure if I called him.
So prior to Mr. DeWitt being violated outside of the anonymous tips, you say that you were never informed by Mr. DeWitt of either account?
No, he never told me about the YouTube channel.
Did he ever tell you about the Gmail?
The Gmail for that?
Yes.
No.
Since Mr. DeWitt and yourself started off rocky, did you have any personal issues with Mr. DeWitt?
I did not.
When you inspected Mr. DeWitt's home, how many vehicles did you see?
He has Dodge Charger, Durango in the back, and then in his backyard had an SUV.
Okay.
The backyard, if you look at his house in the front, SUV, it was behind the fence. You can barely see it, but when you're walking up, you can kind of see the top of it.
The Durango?
Not the Durango. The blue Durango's always in the garage. The Dodge Charger's in the front, outside, and then in the backyard, right on the side of the house, the fence. You can kind of see the top of the vehicle. There's another vehicle there in the backyard.
Did you verify the VIN and license plate and identifiers for those vehicles?
So the thing is with Jeremy DeWitt, when you do your walkthroughs, he'll say certain things to where, like say, hey, oh, my wife or child are naked in this room or particular. So I'm always with another person and so I'll make sure I won't go in that time, or I won't go in that time. So I never got a chance to really get those other vehicles, the one in the backyard, because of the comments he would make. But what I did is I did take a picture of the Dodge Charger's license plate and forward that to Mr. Elliott.
Okay.
Yeah, like I would make it very short in this house because we'll make comments to where I didn't, and I'm being recorded in there too.
He
So
recorded how?
I believe he had cameras inside the home, or you'll have cameras outside the home, multiple cameras outside the home. That's why I always have to go with somebody, and I'm assuming he had cameras because just from what I saw, from other officers telling me about his case, that I need to always have somebody with me when I do him because there's potential of you being recorded. Or, of course, we're always going to be recorded. I mean, regardless of what we do when we do walkthroughs in the home.
So you inherited Jeremy DeWitt's case towards the end, correct?
Towards the end of what?
So, towards the end of his probationary period.
No, so he just got on probation. He just got released. He only lasted 60 days on probation.
Okay, so he was on probation, and you were his first probation officer?
His probation officer when he got released. He's been on probation multiple times,
Okay.
but he's never, ever successfully completed probation. Always been revoked or went to prison.
Okay. And so from fellow probation officers, from your initial interaction with Mr. DeWitt, you always interacted with him in pairs?
Yeah, I always with my supervisor, especially at his house. Either my supervisor or with another officer.
And what are their names?
Lisa Barker and also Angela Long.
Angela or Angelo?
Angela Long, yeah.
So it's fair to say that based on the fact that the department in general feels uncomfortable with Mr. DeWitt that he's treated differently than other probation officers? I'm sorry, probationers?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily, no, he's not treated differently. We treat him just the same. We hold him to the same time frame. So the court gives him a time frame, and I remind him, I talk to him, I instruct him to make sure he makes those time frames. And if he fails to make those time frames, then we notify the court. It's very simple. If your judge says you have 60 days to get something done and you fail to do it, then we have to report to the court. If he doesn't follow the registration guidelines, the sheriff's office, or with the Florida, then we report it to the sheriff's office. So it's very simple. He's been on probation multiple times, and I'm not sure why he doesn't get it yet.
Is there anything, to clarify, you allege that Mr. Dewitte never provided you any information about the emails or the YouTube account, correct?
So the particular email that's with that YouTube account stuff?
Yes.
That's but he has informed me of other accounts, but
Okay.
that's different. That's what he registered with the sheriff's office.
Okay.
Yeah, so what he did not register with the sheriff's office, like the YouTube account or for that particular email, I didn't know nothing about it. And it wasn't until the subpoena, because all I knew about was the YouTube channel, until then when they subpoenaed or got the warrant for the account, then that's when they found the stuff.
Okay. And you were made aware of the YouTube account by people that follow Mr. DeWitte's actions, correct?
But yeah, they have a bunch of followings on YouTube. Quite a bit of them will call or email.
Okay. Is that unusual for a probationer?
Yeah, that's I never because they warned me because when he had the officer in Orange County, he would let me know, hey, you're going to get a bunch of calls and emails once he gets transferred to me. Because he was in Orange County for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So that's how I knew, like, okay, well, I need to start. So I did my research. I'm like, okay, this is the guy on Dr. Phil,
Okay. Can you tell me more about your research?
Just go to Google, type his name in,
And then what did you discover?
Dr. Phil. And then I saw that he was a alleged police impersonator / sex offender. That's about it. Him cussing at people, banging on people's cars, telling them to pull over.
Is there anything else you wish to add that I haven't already asked?
No.
State.
You mentioned 2 YouTube channels. One is Motor One's Moving and Metro State.
Mm-hmm.
Are those the same channels?
So Mortal One's Movie is the new channel that I reported to the sheriff's office. That was never reported to me. The other Metro State was still open, and then I had to. That's the one I know that he had prior to going to prison.
My question is, are they the same channel though, or are they 2 different channels?
2 different channels.
No other questions.
Okay. Reader wave.
Oh, I'll waive it. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
This concludes this deposition.
Huh? I just did what the judge asked me, Sergeant.
Which is crazy, being the fact that just like shutting down YouTube is a violation of my First Amendment. But for some reason, because I signed this deal and we can't read between the lines because the deal wasn't very clearly explained, there's been a lot of misjudgment and overstepping boundaries. I understand it's very complicated because a lot of it is in Latin legal terms.
Sergeant, Corporal Ramsey took my mace and baton and handcuffs. But that wasn't me.